Hello!
Hello!
I feel like we're on a little talk show. It's been a long while since we've done something like this.
It has. I've missed it.
I know. Welcome back, Mama Grimes, aka my... Gosh, when this video comes out, you're going to be 60. My 60-year-old mother, or very close to being 60 at least.
I think I'm really excited. Because it's so significant, isn't it, 60?
I mean, yeah.
Life begins at 60.
Anyway, let's get to wiggle on with this video. We thought that we would sit down and do like an agony aunt video because, you know, we've had quite a lot of shit thrown at us in our lives. So I thought maybe we can, you know, a problem shared is a problem halved and help people with their shiz in their life. I actually do think I'm quite good at like being a therapist to my friends. I just need one myself as well, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So we're gonna answer some of your guys' like agony aunt style questions. Guys, confidential agony aunt questiones here. We are going to paint our faces.
Yes.
And get ready and chat away to you guys. And also we are in Mum's flat. The light, it's beautiful. That big window, oh, honestly, 10 out of 10 choice on the flat one.
You helped me.
Congratulations.
For once, she didn't find it. First time ever.
Oh yeah, I normally am.
Ah, she's
Okay.
the one to blame for all our moves. Also, please don't follow on makeup routine. That's the pro.
No.
That's a learner
Don't
driver.
follow either of us. Tell your best friend that her boyfriend is not the one for her.
Oh.
That's difficult.
Okay, may I talk from experience? In all the years that my daughters have not rated, yeah, you did that as well, dated boys, I've always stood to one side. I've never ever tried to influence them in any way, shape or form. They have to decide for themselves, because if you say leave them, then it will be your fault. Keep your nose out of it.
I think it's very difficult because I've had friends where I've not liked their boyfriends and I've like not openly disliked their boyfriend, but like no one likes their boyfriend, you know what I mean? But you also can't be the friend that's like, I think you need to break up with him, like you shouldn't be together, because that decision needs to come from them. And I do think eventually they will see the light. If they don't, and it's been a long time, I know it's very difficult, and like maybe you can like make him, it's so difficult, but you don't want to be the one to break them up, because then they'll just blame you.
Yeah, I think it depends on what it is. If you know that the boy got up to no good, that's a different scenario. If you just don't like them, or if you feel that they're not right for them, well, that's your opinion, and they need to make up their own mind up, because sadly, what can you do? They've got to make their own mistakes, a bit like I let my girls do.
Okay, so I will talk you through a few of the steps of my makeup because we are working with one of my favourite skincare brands, Dermalogica. I literally just applied the Clear and Defense SPF 30 because my mother has brought me up right.
Yes.
And you have always told me to use an... Well, Mum, why do we need to use an SPF even when it's not sunny outside?
Because it's not just the sun. It's the wind, it's the elements, it's the pollution in the air.
I live in London. There's a lot of pollution.
Yeah, most definitely. Never ever go out without an SPF.
Every day, without fail, I use the Dermalogica SPF. Now, I do always get questions on like what my skincare routine is. So I have filmed some little clips that I can talk you guys through exactly what I use, but of course it's all Dermalogica. They're great, I'm obsessed with their stuff. So if you guys use the links below to buy any of the Dermalogica products, I actually have a gift with purchase, which basically means freebies.
Ooh.
Who doesn't love freebies? Mum, one of them. Blotting papers. Oh, I realised you forgot, you stopped using blotting papers. I'm gonna get her some blotting papers.
I'm so greasy.
And the hydration station kit. So if you make a purchase, that's what you get. But anyway, okay, so step one, I actually had like a full-on consultation with them. You would have loved it. I had a full-on skincare consultation. It was on Zoom. I learnt so much. The people at Dermalogica know exactly what they're doing, like honestly. I know you've taught me some skincare over the years, but they put you to shame. No offense.
Misha is like a porcelain doll. Her skin is perfect.
But it's dry. It's so dry, like the Sahara Desert, and Mum's skin is so different because Mum has greasy skin, no offense.
And big open pores.
So they basically spoke me through and talked me through a routine using their Clear Start collection, which is basically for younger skin, so like up to the age of 25. So I'm really sorry, you're not allowed. But I literally I have it all written down of when I had my call with them, so I know exactly what my routine is for my skincare. So we start with the cleanser. So this is a foaming cleanser, and you literally just put a little bit into your hands and then add some water to make it foam, and it's actually got a chemical exfoliant, so there's no need for an exfoliator. Massage it in for 30 seconds, wash it off. Next we have something that I use, you know, like 2-3 times a week, and this is actually a blackhead clearing fizz mask. Now, Mum, you will agree, my blackheads, they're just
horrendous.
They're just such a pain in my bum. So
no, they're not pain in your bum, they're pain in your nose.
Leave it for 3 to 5 minutes and it will all foam up, and then I wash it off, and then, you know, I'm cleared, I'm good, and we start the moisturizing. So yeah, then I use the hydrating lotion in the daytime. This one's formulated with ginger, orange, grapefruit, which is known to protect your skin. So I wanted a really quick and easy routine that I could literally use when I got back. So nighttime moisturize, I use this product now. Oh my God, this is literally my favorite thing ever. This is the Aqua Jelly. It smells incredible. You see by the packaging, like I don't really have much of it left. I am obsessed with this product. It is so great and cooling for my like aggravated, dry, sensitive skin. So 10 out of 10 recommend this. And then what I also use, depending on my time of the month, is the Clear Start Breakout Clearing Booster, because, you know, if I get a little spot, I can just pop it on. And literally, I had a spot on the top of my head, and it's gone now, isn't it? It's not there anymore.
You didn't have a spot on top of your head. You had a spot on top of your forehead. We would not be able to see it if it was on top of your head. Just thought I'll mention it.
She's really nicely funny, doesn't she? So yeah, don't forget, gift with purchase. I'll link all the products that I used to prep my skin. Let me just give you a close-up of the skin and what it's looking like. Let's get back to the questions. I feel like we've got a lot of boyfriend ones. So also, I need to speed up. My ex broke up with me as he wants to be alone for a bit, but now keeps contacting me. Oh my God, I just realised I just took this out of my makeup bag because I use this before I do my makeup. And also at night. I love this. This is, also, how good does it smell? Sniff me. This is the Micropore Mist toner, and I've always been scared of toners.
I'll do as I'm told.
But this is great, and you can tell it's been loved for, because I don't know if you, oh, well, I always feel like a little, like a beauty guru person wannabe when I do that, but it's dirty from a makeup bag. Anyway, so they're no longer together because the boyfriend wants some space, but is still in contact.
Well, is he looking for friends with benefits? That could be one question, couldn't it?
Yes, but I think the thing is,
I think it depends on your goals. So if your goal is to be, let's say, in a settled relationship, and he still wants to be in touch with you because he wants to be friends with benefits, your needs don't meet. Bye-bye. However, if you've decided that you would like to be friends with benefits and he wants to be your friend with a benefit, and you actually get a benefit, yeah, you know what I mean, then do it. I think if your aim is the same, go for it. If your aims are different, forget it.
I love how Mum's completely gone down the friends with benefits line, and we don't even know that's what this is about at all. They said that they were contacting them. They never said they were sleeping with them. Mother, calm down. It sounds like the thing is, our advice, it's all relative because we don't know the full story.
Yeah,
but I would say if they've broken up because they want to be alone, but then they are still contacting you, they want their cake and they eat it. Is that the saying?
Yeah, it's the same.
They want their cake and they want to eat? That sounds wrong. But
they want their cake and eat it.
Yeah, whereas if you, as Mum said, like, don't want to be messed around, you kind of need to put your foot down, which I know is so difficult because you probably love this person, which is why you're with them. But Mum is right. If your intentions aren't both in the same place and he wants to kind of have a more chilled version of you two and you want a solid relationship, then those will never match up and you need to do the difficult thing of walking away.
Yeah. Or just disconnecting the phone, changing the number, whatever is the easiest.
What to do when a guy you're speaking to is bothered by how many people you've slept with?
Lie?
Ignore her, don't lie. We don't encourage lying in this household, thank you very much. I think that person's not right for you then.
Oh, that's a strong statement.
If they're going to judge you on your past,
I agree.
Everyone has a past.
Yes, yeah.
If they're going to judge you on their past, that's on them. That's not on you.
Yeah, you've got to sell it to them. You know, I've got lots of experience. You will benefit
You
from
need to
it.
sell it to them. They should know that. You know, that's a them problem
Yeah,
also.
but numbers do not mean necessary ability, I'm afraid to say. I'm not comfortable with that.
What do you mean? As in, like, the guy... Well, the thing is, we don't know. The guy could... I do think there's this whole perception of, like, girls should have slept with way less than guys should.
Who do the guys sleep with? Girls.
Exactly.
So why should it be different?
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I honestly don't understand it. I do think that concept is slowly, like, loosening.
Yeah.
But I still think, like, we are brought up and society teaches us from a very young age that, like, boys can be boys, you know, it's not girls can be girls, it's boys can be boys, you know, we let boys off for things we don't let girls off when they're little kids, and I feel like the same mechanics, that's not the word, the same
rules?
Well, I just feel like, no, they don't, that's the issue.
Yeah, no, they should, sorry, they should apply to them. Yeah, absolutely.
But you should not feel ashamed of how people you've slept with, just own it.
Yeah, just say to him, don't live in the past, live in the now. Not in the future, in the now. I'm committed, I'm loyal, okay?
I'm loyal!
Judge.
He's like a Georgia. There are always a lot about boyfriends and sex.
Oh.
Is it okay to not be sexually attracted to your partner but attracted in other ways?
That's such an interesting subject. Okay, so I will give you two scenarios.
You love a scenario.
Yeah. When I met Papa G, it was love at first sight. I was
No, it
physically...
wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You said he was the ugly one.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't mean it. Yeah, there was an immediate attraction based on his looks. I mean, look at her. I've produced her. She looks just like Dad. Not really. So that's the scenario number one. However, scenario number two, I remember, I used to work with this guy and I really was not physically attracted to him, but he was such a beautiful person. So I ended up going out with him because it was all about the personality. So I feel if you've got time, you get to know them, you get to love them.
This is their boyfriend, it's not just a person.
Oh.
So I think that's where it's more complicated
I see.
you could be really sexually attracted to someone, find someone so attractive, and then in that moment, it's just not there.
Yeah.
Which is another scenario.
There is two ways of being sexually attracted. It's either instant or it grows on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes...
And if they're a grower,
yeah,
that's fine. But also, if there's no sexual attraction, is it more like a friendship? Which, yeah, it's great for your boyfriend to be your best friend, but you don't want them to only be your best friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an integral part of any relationship.
But I also think, like, if they're your boyfriend, hopefully, you know, you can sit down. Maybe don't sit down and say to them, I'm not sexually attracted to you, because I do think that's quite harsh. But just maybe talk about what you could do to make it, you know, more.
But what is it, you know? And also,
I think of the Married at First Sight, and I haven't finished watching it. Mum has. I kind of got a bit bored of it, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah. So I think of, what was her name? Like Morag and Luke. And the whole series, she would not stop going on about how she was not sexually attracted to him.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart. And I don't know what happened with them, but I'm assuming they didn't work out because it was such a big thing for her. And he was the loveliest guy. Like, oh my God, he was an angel.
Yeah.
And like, she was very honest, which is good, but she was a little bit too honest, I would say. Like, it was a bit upfront, and I did feel very sorry for him.
Till he did that dance.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like, I don't know, personally, that I believe that that could change that much.
No, I wouldn't do a dance for anyone, I'm sorry, it's just not...
No, not that, but isn't like, I refuse to believe, like, he did that one thing and then suddenly, like, everything's changed. So I don't know, like, I could see there how it's such a difficult thing because, like, they got along so well and, like, they were so good together,
but they were just friends.
If she didn't want to sleep with him, like, she didn't want to sleep with him, and, like, there's nothing you can really do to change that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is quite a relevant one that we can probably, especially me, is probably an expert at. I feel guilty for leaving my home, especially because after losing my mum, I feel like I am abandoning my dad. Sorry, I don't want to bring on any tears for doing makeup. No tears are allowed. Okay, so this is a topic that me and Mum have actually spoken quite a lot about because obviously a lot has happened in the past few years of our lives, And in that time, I have obviously moved out. And I've spoken to Mum about me moving back home.
So back home?
Yeah. As in we've spoken about...
I wouldn't let her.
Well, this is the thing, like...
You wouldn't want to anyway.
This is the thing.
No, hold on. I think the question is more about moving out than coming back.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. As in, like, I think a lot of people on the internet do expect me to move back home, which obviously, and I've said this to Mum, obviously in an ideal world... No,
in an ideal world, the door is firmly shut.
She doesn't mean that.
No, I do mean that. I mean, obviously, I love having you here, you know that. But I always love when you leave, because this is my home now. I'm on my own, saying that I am with Anya till about June time, but let's take her out of the equation. I have to get used to it, and your dad has to do the same. They have to have a new norm. If Misha moved back in now, I would go for the
It wouldn't be forever. It's never going to be forever, because eventually I'm going to move out and have my own family and stuff like that.
It's not fair on me, and it's not fair on your dad, because I'll have to go through the pain threshold with Anya in June, and then potentially Misha in, whenever. And her life is in London, so,
And I understand more than anyone, feeling guilty not being there, because
Excuse me. Obviously, we discussed Misha's move, and it was the best thing that she could have done, and there is no way that I would have allowed her to stay, regardless of what was going on. She is a priority, and Papa Grimes would have never, ever allowed you to make a lifetime decision based on his situation.
But even after, obviously I was back home for 2.5 months when everything was going on. And now we've kind of gone back to how it was before, where I come, to be fair, I come every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I probably do come even
3
more
this
now.
time. She missed me
crazy.
crazy.
No, don't. I hadn't been home for 3 weeks, and I was like, oh
on the phone in tears.
Honestly.
And I'm like...
No, you're not. That's a lie. But sometimes
she appreciates me more.
I do think, me and Anya, I said this to Anya the other day, I think me and Anya work best not living together.
Yeah.
Me and her get along so much better.
Yeah.
Since we're so much closer.
Yeah. We don't argue. You don't take each other for granted.
Honestly, we are such a better relationship now that we don't live together. And I know that your dad will understand, because it is that whole thing of Mum is right. If I was to move home for, let's say, a year, let's say 6 months, let's say however long, I'm gonna have to leave at some point. So you're kind of putting off the inevitable.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not saying if something's happened, leave the next day, you know. I left, and we all agreed when was the right time for me to go back. They were flipping kicking me out the door, being go home, and I was like, no. And then I did get to the point where I was like, okay, everybody else is starting to do their life again. Obviously Mum and Anya still had to work, because run your own business and all of that.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't online at that time, I didn't really have that. So I think that's when I kind of realised okay, it is the time for me to go back to London, because I can't busy myself back home forever. I'm running out of things to busy myself.
But in a weird way, it's easier for us, because Anya's joined me in business. So regardless if she lives here or not, I'm still going to see her every day.
But also, the amount of times we FaceTime, our group chats, we are constantly talking.
And Misha, again, you run a few things past me. So that's what you can do with your dad. You can still be 100% there for him, just not necessarily in the same room.
No, exactly. And I do think that's so accurate. The amount of times we still FaceTime, and we're constantly all texting.
And also speak to your dad about it.
Yeah.
Find out how he feels about it. Because, there was a time when I needed Misha there, and I would have shut the door and said, you're not going anywhere. Not that she ever wanted to, because we so desperately needed her
leaving.
there.
You can't stop me. You won't know what that's from, but basically.
I do.
What?
It's that American thing, the mother, what's her name? No?
Mother?
Well, the one that we did a TikTok on.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, it's from, remember the nanny person that used to come and, Jo, was that her name? The nanny that used to go and look after badly behaved children. There was this little kid that she wouldn't let him eat bacon, and he was like, bacon is good for me. Awful accent.
Well, why an American accent?
Because he's a little American boy.
Ooh. Oh, I've got a juicy one.
My mum always gives me advice about how to raise my children. I told her many times, no thank you. But I'm so sick and tired of her constantly saying to do this, that I'm so young. I'm such a young mum, 23, with 2 children. Sorry, I'm trying to find part 3, because she's done 1, 2... Where's part 3? 3. Third on the way. Don't know how to say, Mum, stop, I don't need your help, because she keeps going on no matter what.
I agree with you. Sorry, Mum, if you're listening to this. You can't. I mean, I always admitted that I didn't have a strong relationship with my mother, which is why I've compensated with the girls. Maybe overcompensated with the girls. She will alienate herself from you. She needs you to make your own mistakes, even if they are mistakes of, you know, bringing up the children.
But how does she tell this to her without offending her? That's, I think, the thing.
Yeah.
She's very aware that her mum needs to take a step back. But, like, I understand. I do think mum's got a lot better, but sometimes you do very, very occasionally, you overbear, very occasionally.
Give me an example.
I'm not going to start airing our blooming dirty laundry on the internet.
Why not?
But you know what I mean? Like, everyone does it naturally sometimes.
Yeah.
You overbear. I've overbeared with friends. I've overbeared with you. You've overbeared with me. We all do it sometimes, but this evidently isn't sometimes.
Okay, so I think what you need to say is look at your grandchildren. They're healthy. They're well behaved. Hope so anyway. And that's the testament to what I've done. I know I'm young and I know it's challenging and I know, Mummy, that you love me so much and you want the best for me.
I think that's the thing. They do want the best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But Mum, I have to do it my way because it's the only way. It's the only way I'm going to learn. And I would never put your grandkids and my children in any danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do.
I do. And I do think they will... sorry, I've got an itchy nose. They will understand. How have I finished my makeup before you, by the way?
Because you're natural beauty and I'm not.
If you like break it down, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be like rude, like, oh mum, like pee off, stop being a control freak.
Yeah, and
because they do mean the best for you.
Yeah, and is it, sorry to interrupt you, darling, is it because that's just her personality that she will, you know, advise in all aspects of life? Or is it just because you are young and you know, going to have your 3rd child? Because being a good mother has got nothing to do with age. I can confirm that. I've seen some amazing 18-year-old mums and I've seen some crap 40-year-old mums.
Yeah. My friend of 4 years left because he doesn't want kids and marriage. Now what? He did you a favour. If you don't have a future with this person because your future goals are so different, then it's never gonna work. And I know that I'm always so naive in saying like I wouldn't want to be with someone unless I could see a future, and I know you also hear those people that are like, oh my god, you spoke about babies and you've only been together for however long. But obviously you're not talking about now necessarily, but if you don't have those important conversations, you don't know what someone wants from life, and then when it comes down to those important things, and also they run.
Also, you're probably mid-20s. If you if you stayed with them for, and by the way, these are from Amazon, extra thick. If you stay with them for another 4 years, and let's say you are in your early 30s or even mid-30s, you would have wasted all of that time.
They have done you a favour.
They have done you a favour.
Because it's like, I can't remember who I was speaking to the other day. They were like, oh, like, does Jake want kids? And I was like, I wouldn't be with him if he didn't.
Yeah.
And that might seem crazy because I'm only 22 and I don't want kids for like another 10 years. But... Hello, Curly Whirly.
Hey, lioness.
I don't see the point in having a relationship with someone that I'm not, even if we don't end up together, because it might not work out like that, at least I know that there is a chance because we both have the same things that we want from life. Also, going back to first dates, there was a couple where, this is again, Morag and whatever his name was. Oh, she didn't want children.
Yeah, she didn't want children. And then suddenly, he wanted her so badly that he said, I accept the fact you don't want children, and now I don't want children. Do you remember they had chat with the parents? And mother was like, what are you talking about? You always wanted children.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see, okay, sorry to spoil it for you. Never, ever do
breaks my heart when I see it, and I've seen this with friends in the past as well, someone who's so strong on their belief, whether that's, you know, how they eat or what they do, and you don't have to have the same opinion as this person, but when someone is so strong on their belief, and then they change, not for the better, because of their partner, you know, they change their belief that they've had their entire life, or they've had and they've stuck with it, and then they all change it because of somebody else's opinion, which I don't think is right. So the only way you would end up being with this person for the rest of your life is if you made the sacrifice of not having children. And it doesn't sound like that's worth it for you because that's what you want. So
and of course there is
a blessing in disguise.
And of course there is a slim chance that they may change their mind, but it's a bit like we're in lottery, let's face it. One in a
and in 4 years
million.
if they still don't, you know what I mean, like you could be dating someone and they're like, I'm unsure, but after 4 years, like, you'd think they would know.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. We are so it's what's it called, cruel to be kind, I think. That's the word I'm looking for. By the way, I will comb this through, promise. I will not go out looking like this. Okay.
Unsure about staying with my boyfriend, but I do a lot with his family.
Oh my goodness me.
No, we always joke about Anya and Sam because Sam's family is now like our family. Like they literally are.
She can't finish with him. We'll just acquired a new family.
No, they're not allowed.
Regardless, if she's unhappy, we don't care. She is happy, by the way.
More than happy, very, very happy. But I do understand, because I always say when you've been with someone for a very long time, like I've always said, I don't understand how people are together for like 8 years and then they break up. Like I find that mental, because your lives at that point are so entangled and so entwined. Walking away from someone that's not right for you after 8 years, I think is an incredible achievement, because you are willing to, I don't want to scare people, but like completely
start again.
360, not start again, but 360 your life, you know.
Well, it is start again, because you could be starting with a new family, one that you don't like so much. So there's always,
but not even the family, like the friends, the you know, the way of life.
But you're not married to his family. Oh, sorry, you're not with his family. You are with him. So I mean, I've got to admit, I prefer to be in a room with Papa G's mum rather than my own. So there you go.
That's different because you still loved Dad, so it's not the same thing. It's not about comparing your family to their family. It's you can't stay with him forever for his family,
but
because
also,
it's not no longevity.
But also it does not mean that you can't keep in touch with them, because if you are, I mean, I know it's difficult, but again, remember, Papa G had this girlfriend for 5 years before he met with me, and she used to still come round and see certain relatives. I was fine with that. She wasn't coming to see him.
I think that's very difficult. I'm sure it can be done.
Depends how you part, on what basis you part. If you part as friends,
I mean, I'm very much someone that I've never remained friends with an ex, so I don't know how you do it, so I couldn't give advice on that, because like I physically don't understand how anyone does that.
I agree.
This makes me sad. Just lost my melon for like no one is checking up on me. I think it's really difficult.
It is very difficult, and I've got to say, obviously, I've been in the same situation, Misha's been in the same situation, and you truly find out who your friends are.
But I do think it's not that simple, because I also know that some friends have known more what to say than others, and that doesn't take away from our friendship, you know what I mean? Because some people are just better with words, and some people are more thoughtful.
I get it, but just saying how are you,
well,
that doesn't take, you know.
But like, I don't know, obviously you still need people around you, and I know you probably don't want to, but I do think it is worth dropping them a message just to say, I'm really struggling at the moment. And then you can see how they are, you know what I mean? Because it's so difficult, because I have been in that boat, and as I've said in a previous video, always message. If there's any friend that wants advice out there, who someone is going through a hard time with a family member, or they're unwell, just send the message. You're not overbearing, you're not doing too much, they're not like infiltrated with so many messages, they don't want your message. Send the message, it means so much. But there are those people that are worrying, oh well, everybody else is checking with them, so I don't want to like overbear and like be another one and then have to have the effort to reply to me. So some people will think like that, and that is why sometimes you need to break down that wall by saying, I'm really struggling today. And I have friends in my life that check in on me, and I have friends in my life where I am so close with them that I will just tell them if something's wrong, you know.
So they'll wait,
so they don't need to ask me, because I'll freaking tell them, you know. And some friends do still ask me, and I still tell them. But you know, like me and Chloe, we have such a unique relationship because we live in completely different countries. We don't see each other very often. But I know that Chloe doesn't need to ask me how I am. I will just tell her. If I'm having a shit time, I will tell her.
And also, because I know that I've said to Misha, oh, you know, this friend of yours, we were so close, they never asked. And in fact, they sometimes don't want to come to you. So a lot of Misha's friends will inquire about me and vice versa. All of my friends always say, how are the girls?
I do think, like, people, it's such a difficult thing to go through, and also for other people to see you go through, and there's not like a to-do list of how to master it.
But sometimes they're doing it, you just don't know about it because they don't want to make you sad.
Yeah, people don't want to bring it up, this is the thing, and like, I get that, and like, I even find it awkward. Like, when I was on my shoot the other day, I was like, oh yeah, like my dad, who's not with us anymore, like, I haven't been around people that don't know that my dad's not here anymore, so I haven't faced that, and it does weird me out thinking of, like, you know, going and meeting new people and making new friends and meeting people in life, and then having to be like,
explain.
Oh, like, yeah, I don't, my dad's not here
anymore. You see, I'm the complete opposite.
Mum tells everyone.
It's but when I was pregnant, I'm a widow.
I think it's your way of coping with it,
it is because I remember I went to a restaurant that Papa used to go a lot to, and I said, remember my husband? And he went, yeah, the tall guy, the handsome guy. No, I've made that one up. And he actually named what he said, what he used to eat. And I said, he's dead. And the guy nearly cried. Honestly.
She's too abrupt, but she can't help it. It just comes out of her mouth. I've accidentally done it once as well. This delivery guy was arriving when we were at the old house, delivering something from the MND charity to like help Dad. And he was like, oh, I've got a delivery for John Grimes. And I went, oh, he's dead. Didn't even think, it just slipped out. And then he was like, I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, it just happened.
Yeah, it does. But on some days, I could not even open my mouth. The tears would just come flowing.
Yeah. Ooh, I get on well with a colleague, but he has a girlfriend, but it seems to me like he wants more from me. Such a difficult, because you might be completely reading into a situation and there might be absolutely nothing there and he might just be friendly, but you also don't want to be the person that he cheats on his girlfriend with or like breaks them up. If they're not meant to be together, then that's fine, and you can be that person that makes him realise that. But you don't want to be, you know what I mean?
Like, split up.
It needs to not just be, it needs to be more than just you.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be issues within the relationship.
Yeah, and I've always said this to the girls, and I'm so proud of it. I have never, ever gone out with a man who had a girlfriend or been married.
But I think that's very difficult these days, because people can hide it so well.
Yeah, that's a different story altogether. But what I would say is, as Misha said, you don't want to be the reason to why they split up. So,
you don't want to be the other woman at the end of the day.
First of all, you know, you're sure that there is something going on, and if you are, and he approaches you and he says, let's go, let's do that, and you just say, I'm not comfortable.
You need to say, like,
I really like you, but I'm not going to be...
I'm not comfortable to have this situation where we've got a
so maybe let's revisit it if and when.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want it done to you, would you?
No.
I mean, I remember that guy mentioning before on a doorstep. He told me, yeah, I've got a girlfriend, but I'm not happy. And then I bumped into him 10 years later, and he was still with the girlfriend. And he did say to me, I promise you're going to enjoy yourself. I mean, what I think to say.
Okay, before Mum goes off on a complete tangent, my boyfriend wants us to get an abortion, and I understand the reasons, but can't do it.
Wow. Well, obviously, I've been there, I've done it. Such a difficult subject, but at the end of the day, it's your body.
I think it's so difficult, and I've definitely spoken about this before, because I'm not someone that thinks it's 50-50 decision. I don't think it is, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to have the baby. You're the one, you know, it's inside of you. It's growing within you. Yeah. I'm not saying it should be all your decision, but I do think that you're the one that has to go through it. And of course they will emotionally go through that as well if they went through the abortion, because, you know, it's still their child, but you also have to physically go through it as well as emotionally.
I think at the end of the day, if you make a decision to keep the baby, as long as you don't expect this guy to be helping you, then you've got the right. But I think if you have the baby and then you say to him, pay me this or do that, and he completely detached himself, then that's probably not fair. But also, potentially, this could finish your relationship, but you need to do what you want to do, because you will take the responsibility, not him.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a right answer when it comes
No.
to something like that. It's so difficult. I will link all the products down below, and don't forget about the gift with purchase when ordering from Dermalogica. Hope you've enjoyed this little chatty.
I have, as long as you leave me some products behind, I shall be a happy bunny.
No, actually I can't, because they're 25, they're about age 25.
Oh, okay,
so
I was gonna say, I take payment in products.
But no, it's been really nice.
They've got my range, skin range as well. I've checked it out.
Anyway, it's been lovely just sitting and chatting and doing like a very old school style video. I feel like this is what me and Mum started all those years ago. And this is obviously what started Taboo Topic Tuesday. But that is a whole nother ball game for another time when I'm ready to face that. Starting here, baby steps, everyone, baby steps. That is my note to all of you as well. Because I think I've realised that I probably need to start taking baby steps. Because I'm throwing myself a bit too in.
I'm still an infant. I haven't posted on YouTube, so I'll be making appearances here. I'll find them much more comforting.
This only because she doesn't have to edit them.
Yeah, that as well.
Anyway, we're gonna love you guys and leave you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it's been somewhat helpful. But again, take all of our advice with a pinch of salt. We are not trained. We don't know what we're talking about. We've just been through some crap in our lives, and we like to share.
Sharing is caring.
Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.